College gymnastics, Serena Harris went from UCLA to Florida. She was the nation's #1 recruit 3 years ago, individual qualifier for nationals last year. Alex Irvine, UCLA to Auburn. Anna Padarariu from UCLA to Utah, consistent contributor for the Bruins last couple of years. Kara Eaker from Utah to Georgia, came out of retirement. She was a 2020 U.S. Olympic alternate. Skylar Keller-Wilhelm, enjoyed watching her at Washington. She went to Kentucky, first team All-American on bars last year, from the Dogs to the Cats. Ananiah Smith from Arizona State to Georgia. She was a national runner-up on vault last year.
It's an impressive list of athletes there. And, gymnastics transfer portal is a big deal in college athletics right now.
Yes, it is. Oklahoma ranked first after week 1 with their 197.5. Oregon State had the 9th best score, 195.775. LSU last year winning their first ever national title behind all-around champ Haley Bryant, 197.3. Last year's runner-up, Cal, 196.275. I really like what the Howells are doing at Cal.
Yeah, they've really put together an impressive program and have built the way they wanted to, slowly, methodically. They are technicians. Liz Crandall-Howell was an elite athlete, is a brevet judge, the highest level judge. So the way she composes routines really helps Cal stand out. They are in the wrapped up a really impressive meet, the Sprouts Collegiate Quad, happening today with Oklahoma, LSU, Cal, and Utah. And Oklahoma nearly broke 198 today. They went 197.95
in week 2.
In week 2, but they did not have the nationals finish that we expected them to, that they expected of themselves. And an angry Oklahoma is a dangerous one, and you saw that today.
And there's Tanya Chaplin, head coach for Oregon State, and she said, hey, their goal is top 8. And that gets you into the NCAA championships. Based on what you've seen, what does this team have to do to get there?
I talked about vault being a differentiator with the start values. So you either add more start value 10-0s that they can hit, or really clean up those Yurchenko falls to improve their vault score.
Sophie Dudley had a 9.6 on vault, 9.75 on floor. Senior from Plano, Texas. 9.725 on beam last week in Nashville.
Hips a little off center on the layout step out, but pulls it on well. It's nice to have a senior with the amount of experience Sophie has as your lead off on beam. Good power, nice height on those leaps. Good job on the side aerial. Sets up for her dismount. 1.5. Nice landing, just a slight hop off to the side. But otherwise, good clean start for them. They didn't count a fall last week, but had some scores in the near 9.5s. I really like to get those 9.7 or above. To get BYU up where they hope to be.
Last week, 27th best beam rotation in the country, the 48.4. I was certainly looking to improve on that. Here is Savannah Miller. Only time we'll see her today. Last week on her lone routine in meet 1, posted a 9.675. Her 3-pass routine. Last year at different times, she used 2 and 3-pass routines.
Great height and nice landing on the double pike. Very solid finish positions on her leaps. Should be that 1.5 front layout in combination. Easily done. the double tuck. Deep breath in the corner. Again, another nice landing.
9-6-7-5 last week, and certainly better this week. Reason to celebrate for Savannah Miller.
Yeah, that was a really special and easy-looking routine from her. Great height on the double pike. Nails the landing. Great command. Comes back with the double tuck. Like I said, it's early in the season, and to have awesome stamina like that, chest position on the landing right where we want it to be. Awesome job for Savannah Miller.
Awaiting Sophie Dudley's beam score, the first gymnast for BYU here in the fourth rotation. As Kylie Aquinto gets set to go. Aquinto's had a good meet, 9.775 on vault and bars, 9.8 on floor. And she has never competed on beam. She exhibitioned last week. We're looking for a beam routine to develop for her to become the all-arounder that she is today. She's worked hard on having a 10.0 start value.
Guard said he was really trying to get her into the all-around, so awesome job for her making the lineup. Does the back handspring swing through side aerial. Unique connection that she does a nice job maintaining momentum throughout. Switch half to beat, did not hit 180 on that leap. Can be up to 3/10 deduction. Needed to connect that cat leap. So you see she dances backwards. And I thought she was going to try it again, but she did not. The dismount, back handspring gainer fold, tiniest hop forward for a beam debut. Really nice job. Fighting through. Great. Here's her flight series. So she does a back handspring, has got to stay on that one leg and swing through to the side aerial. You often see the side aerial go into the back handspring. She reverses it. And gainer fold, just a tiny hop in place.
Very nice beam debut.
Yeah, really special in that debut.
9.85 for Savannah Miller. That is almost 0.2 of a point better than week one. And now here is Carly Chavez. Career high is 9.9 last year against Washington. Last week in Oceanside, California. Her fifth competitive floor routine of her 4-year collegiate career. Put up a 9.7. Didn't compete on floor the first 2 years of college. Last year exhibitioned a few times. Competed in 4 and was good.
She really dances in this routine. Great musicality, connection from the dance elements to every beat of the music. And bounces out of that double pike with the front foot slid.
Senior from Clovis, California, near Fresno. Worked with Oregon State coaches at camps growing up, and she said Oregon State always her dream school. And Elisa, you want high-level gymnastics, but to be treated as an all-around person, it's a good place to go.
Absolutely. You mentioned how the chaplains really develop students first, student athletes, and the whole person. It's something that so many of these athletes, when recruited, ask why they came here. They talk about the development of their whole person.
Yeah, Connie Chaplin loves helping these young women transition to the rest of their lives.
Final pass, the double tuck, better landing. And I love how she sells it to the judges at the end, making sure that they realize It's just a little special the way she does things.
Carly Chavez.
I like the attitude that she brings to floor. Yep, nice job on that one. Her front foot did not move. The first pass double pike, her foot slid just a little bit, but hers stayed nicely in place and is duly rewarded with the chainsaw.
Fun to watch. Now after the pair of 9.675s, it's Eliza Millar-Crossman. Was in 2 events in week 1, beam and floor. Just beam this week. Week 1 score, bit wobbly 9.675. Career highs 9.9.
Lots of those forward roll mounts that we've seen today, how she gets on the beam. Good flight on that layout, but not quite sure of the landing, so takes those 2 steps, probably 2/10 deduction.
3 years as a walk-on. Just this year as a senior on scholarship. Guard Young said she just kept her head down and worked hard.
Yeah, you can see the nerves, and it's like she's getting a little bit ahead of herself. I want her to finish these skills a little more crisply as opposed to moving on to the next thing. Because she has really great extension in those leaps. Nice snap and good toe point. So the potential is there. Just want to see her slow down and really sell every move. A nice stick though on the front full dismount. Sometimes hard to stick that front full. She does a nice job at the end of the routine there.
Eliza Millar-Crossman, the senior from Cincinnati. For Carly Chavez. Sage Thompson had a 9.75 on vault, 9.8 on bars. Posted a 9.8 on floor last week. Never competed on floor during her 2 years at Utah. And then last year, her first year at OSU, was in 9 of 13 floor lineups. And a high of 9.9 at home against Arizona State.
That's her 1.5 front layout, beautiful. Yeah, said one of the reasons she came to Oregon State is she wanted to be more than a bar specialist, and she liked the development, personal development that chaplains offer.
She has a 2-pass routine. How does that affect your scoring?
So that leap that she did, leap combination, it makes the leap combinations way more important. Normally you'll see 2 leap combinations. It's either 3 tumbling passes and 1 leap sometimes, or 2 and 2. So we've seen her do 1 tumbling, 1 leap.
Final tumbling pass.
Very nice landing on the double pike. You could see her feet from this corner very well, and she really tried to hold on. There's another one of those leap passes I mentioned. She did that beautifully.
Sage Thompson, senior from Lehigh, Utah.
In my mind, those leaps were some of the best that we've seen thus far. I didn't have any question about them, their completion and their value that they will get from the judges. This double pike is beautiful, nice toe point. You can see her moving the feet around to try to keep them flat. You know, the floor does have springs and foam underneath it, so it can be hard to really stick. So on those leaps, if you're doing a full turn, like I mentioned before, you need to go all 360 degrees, and the judges will look at your feet to make sure that you begin and end at the same position.
9.65 for Millar-Crossman. She'll look for improvement next week at home against Southern Utah. And now Nina Margraf-Benson, who we saw card a 9.7 on floor, had a 9.7 on beam last week.
You could just tell how she was enjoying this music before, that she's coming in very calm. An aerial right into the back tuck. Well landed, a little bit of knees. Front toss.
Your spine really has to stay in line with that beam, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I think of your shoulders as sort of the headlights of your car. They have to stay really centered, and your spine is at the middle of that.
Great analogy.
Just the tiniest of bobbles there. Also important are your arms being centered, and hers were just quite in the right
A
spot.
little swerve into the other lane.
Exactly. But a quick adjustment. And there's her front full. Great landing.
Yes.
By far the best routine for the Cougars thus far.
Nina Margraf Benson, senior from Spring, Texas.
Here's this step landing on the front full. Straight body twist and finds the floor. Second stuck front full. Really enjoyed watching that beam routine.
Natalie Breckman, their beam coach, with a hug from Nina Margraf Benson. A 9.8 for Sage Thompson.
Yeah, the whole Cougar coaching staff, sorry, all former athletes at BYU.
That's right. Guard Young, Natalie Breckman, Brogan Evanson, Ward Allen, all former gymnasts. Sophia Esposito now.
This is her career debut. Didn't compete last week. Front tuck through a double tuck. That's a new pass for her this year. Very easy leaps there. Signature head spring there. Brought that over from her freshman year.
Like last year, a 2-pass routine.
Layout, nice high Rudy, great command.
Last year's Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, Sophia Esposito.
She has got boundless energy. And a chainsaw to boot. Yeah, you'll notice throughout these routines they work in an OSU sometime. Really like how different college teams work in their team spirit across events. Really nice positions, good balance of tumbling, leaps. She's the all-around package.
Sophia Esposito. 9.775 for Mina Margraf Benson. 3/4 of a tenth better than week one. And now here is Brinley Anderson. Looking to rebound from a 9.475 on floor. She carded a shaky 9.475 on beam last week. Preseason all Big 12 beam worker.
Last year she got 2 10s from 2 different judges and has a career high 9.975. So she is an exceptional beam worker. We're already seeing that from her flight series. Good flight on that straddle half.
Judges judge in half a tenth sections, and so 2 judges at a regular season meet. If you ever see somebody with a 9.975, then you know they got a perfect 10 from one of the 2 judges.
And then probably some boos from the crowd to that judge who did not go 10. Awesome. You can see her talking to herself throughout. Gymnasts have a lot of different mental cues that they can use on beam. Usually it's words reminding you what you need to do next and calm down. And oh, that was an awesome routine. Just a tiny slide on that gainer full, but good bounce back from a low score last week that seemed like an aberration in her young career on beam.
Yeah, Brinley Anderson, whatever your word was that time, keep it in mind next time.
Yeah, she's the hole in their beam lineup from All-American Elise Rollins, graduating. Lots of pressure on Brinley Anderson to live up to her routines from last year.
9.85 for Sophia Esposito. And now here is Caitlin Garcia. Yeah, by the way, Elise Rollins, who graduated as a beam worker for BYU, now an elementary school teacher. Here's Caitlin Garcia, had a 9.675 on vault. Last week, nice 9.85 on floor.
Upgraded first pass and does a great job staying on her feet. Like I mentioned, out of those 1.5s, you have to land in the perfect position to bounce correctly.
So is that a 10th deduction what we just saw?
2 tenths, one with each step. Out of a forward landing like that, you are allowed to step forward with no deduction once.
But that's better than half a point if she had sat down.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a great job to maintain on her feet.
Now the gymnast with a 2-pass floor routine. Did on 11 of 13 floor routines last year, including her final 8.
We'll close with a huge double tuck. Awesome height. Showing the power that we know she has on floor. Just got to get the timing right on that first pass moving forward, and then this will be a big score for the Beavers.
Caitlin Garcia, the senior from San Diego.
So let's look at this. You've got to land your 1.5 with your shoulders over your hips so that you can punch forward and have enough rotation and to add that twist in the middle as well.
But she didn't let it bother her.
No, she did a great job hanging on and nailing the landing on that double tuck. It really helps show that she put that one behind her, and we know the kind of floor worker she is and will be.
9.825 for Brinley Anderson. That's half a tenth off her career high. By looking at it again, it is 1.5 tenths off her career high. And now here is Maya Kirkham, the redshirt freshman from Alpine, Utah, doing the all-around for the first time in her career. Looking for a bounce back after a 9.475 7 days ago in Nashville.
That meet in Nashville was her first time on beam as a Cougar, so this is just her second career routine, and gotta connect those. I would say her arms stopped just a little bit between them. You need fluid motion to get that connection. Solid side aerial. When a gymnast snaps their arms down like that, they mean business. They do not want to wobble. Solid switch lead split jump. Just a round off 1.5 dismount coming up. Oh my goodness. I am so glad. So, you know, she's going to get up and do that dismount again. So that is going to be a fall there, but you could see her trip like that. It is so scary to do a dismount. I'm going to take a look at this real quick. So she trips with that left foot. And the beam cap, it looks like the beam cap is off the end, but look at that, comes back, unfazed, does that dismount again that she just missed.
Good work by Natalie Breckman to come over and make sure she took a breath before getting on the beam again.
Gymnasts are so quick to just want to get up. They're shocked, they're a little embarrassed, and she just did, like you said, did a good job to calm her down.
And now Jade Carey a moment ago talking with her father, Brian Carey, an assistant coach here at Oregon State. Also a coach for Jade in international gymnastics. He was a rare parent that got to be there with their child at the Olympics in 2021 during the pandemic, got to celebrate with her. Their relationship is incredible. If you're going to raise an elite level athlete, this is the way to do it. They kept Jade grounded, both Brian and his ex-wife Danielle, who's here today. Jade is currently a half a point better than her 39.625 last week in her all-around. And she got a 9.9 last week on floor.
The crowd is cheering because Jade just directed her dad to get a ribbon off the floor that had fallen out of someone's hair in the middle of the floor, and she did not want to tumble over that. Gymnastics is so dangerous. This is a new routine for her, but a pass we have seen from her before.
The power.
The double-double never gets old. She does not need to do that level of difficulty, but we are so glad she does.
She won Olympic gold in this event in 2021. Two-time Olympic gold medalist, throwing a bronze as well, Jade Carey of Oregon State.
Front full. This is zone out.
Her dad said they never talk gymnastics away from the gym unless Jade wants to. If she wants to vet, he's fine. If he wants to talk gymnastics with her, and this was true all growing up, he makes an appointment with her at the gym. Otherwise, at home, it's dad and daughter, not coach and gymnast.
Those are impressive boundaries.
And because of that, she still loves the sport after all these years. And not close to burnout.
Yeah, still, we can tell, like I said, she's continuing to play, learn new skills, new routine. She's had 3 routines, different routines in the last year. Oh, the height on that, awesome. But slide back at the front foot, I will say, will prevent her from the 10. It does not take away, though, from how entertaining. And
that is a 10-0 entertainment value.
Exactly. Impressive tumbling. Yeah, I mean, there's very little, it seems, she cannot do.
She had a 39.625 in all-around in week 1. That was the second best all-around score in the country, 1/10 behind Aaliyah Finnegan of LSU in week 1 scoring.
Oh, that double-double. Just exceptional. Opens up out of it. The second pass, front layout, front full, adds this to zone. That's a new pass for her this year. In elite, she would do 4 passes and super high double tuck.
Is this a 9.9 matching what she did last week?
I would say it's probably, yeah, I would give it just a 9.9 because I would take 1/10 on that hop back on the double pike, but I see 1.995 from one judge. Let's see the other one. Yep, looks like 9.95s across the board.
9.95 for Jade Carey. That means that she is a 10th better than last week in her all-around. I believe it adds up to 39.725, which was Aaliyah Finnegan's score last week, the best in the nation in week number 1. All that's left for her resume is an NCAA championship. She wants that individual championship. I think as much as she wants that, she would trade it for her team getting to NCAAs.
Yep, it's lonely at the NCAAs without your team. Now, I really like how teams welcome and embrace the individuals that are with them, but that's totally different than your team being there. And she talked about her teammates as being so essential to her, both in her Olympic journey and just in her collegiate journey, making her feel at home here at Oregon State.
Exhibition for Taylor DeVries. Ultimately, Jade would like her team at NCAAs and for her to win at least one individual championship.
Absolutely. Here's another 1.5, front full, nicely landed. Taylor was in the lineup last week, made her career debut, but in exhibition today, now that Sophia Esposito is back.
Wasco, Illinois native, north central part of the state on I-90, just south of Beloit, Wisconsin.
Does a lot of twisting, stands up a little too quick out of that Rudy, but nice job maintaining the landing.
On bars and floor last week, no competitive routines this week for Taylor DeVries.
More twists to finish. She does a 2.5 twist as her last pass. Very difficult to end with this. And a great job controlling the landing, staying in bounds. You saw how close she was to that white line. That is a really fun routine that and again, I mentioned with a ton of twists. I count that she has 6.5 twists across her 3 passes there.
Well, Taylor, and reason to raise that chainsaw herself.
This team has a lot of seniors, and so it will be very important to continue to get competitive experience for their underclassmen, like we saw from Taylor DeVries there.
Oregon State exhibition. And the Beavers with a 49.25 on floor. Last week they had a 48.925. So better this week by a substantial margin. Oregon State 49.25. And so unofficially a 196.4, which is 0.625 better than last week when they had the 9th best first week score in the country.
Yeah, it's a great progression for them to move up into the 196s and not count a fall today. Again, it's very early in the season, and the way gymnastics scoring works, I love as we get to week 2 and all teams will have competed, because then the rankings are not done by a coach's poll or a media poll. They are very based on scores only, and so you really see how everyone ranks up.
And by the way, Jade Carey, indeed, my math was correct. She ended up with a 39.725 in the all-around. And that's a 10th better than she scored last week when she had 2nd best in the nation. And it matches what Aaliyah Finnegan of LSU did last week for best in the nation. And it was capped by a 9.95 on floor.
And she would have won the Sprouts all-around meet today against Oklahoma, LSU, Utah, and Cal. So really, like you said, she is competing with the absolute top in the country like we expect her to do. She won all 4 events and the all-around. The double layout, the debut of that was absolutely one of my highlights, along with getting to see way up close her new 1.5 vault, and just to see the way she continues to progress, continues to grow in her gymnastics, and continue to play, because we are all the beneficiaries of watching how she continues to evolve as the elite level athlete she is.
Jade Carey, now a senior, and in her final year at Oregon State, a program she has been associated with since back in 2013, when she made a visit here and gave a verbal declaration that she was going to come here. 2013 or 2014, when she first fell in love with this campus, signed her letter of intent to come to Oregon State in November of 2017, but deferred her enrollment for 3 years to train for the Tokyo Olympics, which were of course postponed for a year, and it paid off with gold. Other schools have continued to acquire about Jade Carey, but she stayed loyal to the Beavers.
Yeah, you know, we saw that transfer portal page, people going to some of the top schools in the country from a gymnastics perspective, and Jade Carey is committed to being a Beaver, forever a Beaver here. Really impressed by her commitment to her team, to the school.
So Jade talking with assistant coach Michael Chaplin. We'll take a quick break and come back. Perhaps an interview we'll see coming right up after this. Along with Lisa Mao, Rich Burke back here at Gill Coliseum. Those athletes right there, college gymnasts, are the best athletes in college athletics. And this is one of the most entertaining shows in college athletics, and you can see why it's exploding in popularity.
Absolutely exploding, because they are understanding the importance of marketing after an Olympic year, especially. There's such renewed interest in the sport. And when you have the Olympian on the floor in Jade Carey in her 4th year, final year here, the Beaver faithful truly understand how important and how lucky they are to get to have her and watch her.
College gymnastics is where it's at post-Olympics for a lot of athletes, including her, Jade Carey. And last year she became the first ever gymnast to do college gymnastics and Olympic gymnastics in the same year.
Yeah, also joined by Jordan Childs.
But she took last year off.
She took last year off. There were a couple others. Aaliyah Finnegan competed for the Philippines, but you're right, the U.S. athletes, it's very rare to be able to do both. It's great for the U.S. elite program to have evolved to understand that these gymnasts can do both. And with NIL, the potential to make money as a professional gymnast is very low outside of being an Olympic champion like Simone, but the NIL potential for these athletes is exceptional, and you can see that's why so many of them are back on campus.
Of course, we have our own Olympic gold medalist here in Jade Carey, John Simone Biles, Suni Lee, Jordan Childs, and Hesley Rivera on the Golden Girls in winning gold in Paris last summer, and now performing all season long here at Gill Coliseum.
And Jade, one of the only American Olympians ever to medal in different individual events between Olympics. So you mentioned Tokyo, she won gold on the floor, and then in Paris wins the bronze on the vault. Loved seeing the redemption for her on vault in Paris after she didn't have the Tokyo vault that she expected.
Yeah, that was expected to be her best chance to win a medal in Tokyo, and she ended up winning it on floor.
Yep. She said her dad, Brian Carey, coaching her that day of the Tokyo floor final, said, yesterday, and she says this, the day her vault final was the worst day of her life, but he said, there's no reason today can't be the best day of your life, and it was when she won that gold.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, today's top performers on beam.
Those the three top beam performers. Love seeing Lauren Lech there.
Indeed, Lauren Lech coming off missing last year with a heart condition, POTS. Sophia Esposito coming out to get another award.
The reigning Pac-12 freshman of the year. I guess maybe not reigning, the last Pac-12 freshman of the year. Just looked great in her debut on floor and vault, or her second beam of the season, but did a nice job in her 3 events, and we'll see if she can get back into the bar lineup.
And Jade Carey a 9.95 on floor. Now they're going to award the all-arounds.
From BYU, Maya Kirkham.
Maya Kirkham, third in the all-around. Only 3 did the all-around today. Kirkham and Quinto for BYU. Jade Carey for Oregon State. 38-4
BYU, Kylie
for Kirkham, and
that's just her 3rd meet at all on her BYU career. So great for her to compete in the all-around, place 3rd.
you're talking about Kirkham now.
From Oregon State, Jade Carey.
Quinto, 39-4, and Jade Carey, 39.725, matching the best in the nation heading into week 2.
All-around performers.
What a great second week for her.
Absolutely. Really important for Kylie to do as well as she did, and then for Jade to continue her dominance and grow just a little bit better over last week. A 10th of a point. Her margin of error is so small.
So small.
Continuously over 9.9, that to break into that 9.9510 is going to be a little tricky this year. Judges are being a little tighter.
Saluting the crowd one last time. The first of 5 meets here at Gill Coliseum. Beavers will be at home against San Jose State on Friday. Hope you can be here, and if not, watch us again on Pac-12 Insider. That'll be at 7 o'clock Pacific on Friday. Hang tight. We got an interview coming up, and we'll see. We're hoping to be able to get Jade Carey. And again, the Beavers are 196.4, so they cracked the 196 barrier. And that is 0.625 better than last week. Indeed, Jade Carey, delightful young woman from Phoenix, Arizona, and a three-time Olympic medalist. 2 golds and 1 bronze. And now in her final year at Oregon State. And Jade joins us. First of all, Jade, I want to ask you here in your final year of college gymnastics, what does it mean to you to perform here at Oregon State in front of this crowd?
It means everything to me. Having Beaver Nation really show up like this is so special to all of us, and me just being able to come back after the Olympics and enjoy such a fun atmosphere is amazing.
So you went across the board over 9.9, including that second time you've performed that 1.5 vault. Can you talk to me about why you decided to make that change and the process of learning that vault?
Yeah, ultimately I just wanted to try something new, try something different, and I knew it would be a little bit easier for me to do every single weekend. So yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous to compete it for the first time since I've literally never done it before, but I like it so far.
Give us a tip. How do you handle those nerves?
I really just think about all the numbers that I put into the gym every single day. We work so hard and do so many routines that it's just one more on a competition day.
You talked about learning new things. You like to play. You don't want to get bored. You still love this sport after all these years. I told the story of you and your dad and how outside the gym, if you wanted to vent, he would talk. But if he wanted to talk, he made an appointment with you at the gym. Away from the gym, he was dad, you were daughter. How important is that relationship then to your development?
Yeah, that's super important to me and for us. I think it's really important to keep both worlds separate, and I think that's what's made us so successful.
So going into week 3, what improvements are you hoping to make for next week?
Yeah, I think we're continuing to climb as a team, and we're seeing the improvements every single week. I think it's really just cleaning up the form, going after the sticks, and just really being sure of ourselves out there. We all know we can make our routines in the gym, but under pressure, it's really about just doing our normal in the gym, and that's what we talk about every single day.
Your sister unable to compete today. She's a gymnast for BYU, a freshman. There she is. We're showing her right now. Tava Greenberg. What... growing up with her, doing gymnastics, and now seeing her at BYU, what does that mean to you?
It's really special for me to see her get so far in gymnastics. Of course, I'm there for her every step of the way, and unfortunately, due to injury last year, she wasn't able to compete today, but we were still able to bring her out here so she could experience her team compete, and I could have her here to celebrate with.
Jade, I feel like we're watching something that we're going to be talking about for decades to come. Your tenure here at Oregon State, we so appreciate watching you, and good luck the rest of the season.